Hi, I'm State Representative Mesha Mainor. I represent District 56. Today I want to go over the Fulton County Jail investigation that was completed by the Georgia General Assembly State Senate Public Safety Subcommittee. They did a press conference, and in the press conference they said that this is the draft report. So I want to go over the draft report with you. The draft report was done or released by the Senate Office of Policy and Legislative Analysis. This draft summary of recommendations of the Senate Public Safety Subcommittee on the Fulton County Jail. The Jail Subcommittee was created as a subcommittee of the Senate Committee on Public Safety, which was chaired or is chaired by Senator John Albers of the 56th. The subcommittee was tasked with reviewing the Fulton County Jail. Senator Randy Robertson of the 29th served as chairman. The other Senate members were Senators John Albers of the 56th, Sonia Halpern, Ryan Strickland, Chuck Payne, and Tim Bearden. Of note, Senator John Albers represents North Fulton, and Senator Sonia Halpern is a senator of the metro area and South Fulton. Subcommittees met 7 times between 2023 and 2024. Meeting 1 was an introductory discussion on the purpose and plans. Meeting 2 discussed the population of the Fulton County jail system. Meeting 3 comprised of District Attorney Bonnie Willis's budget and her personnel. Meeting 4 was related to the judicial procedures, processes, and court procedures. Meeting 5 was about court administration, judicial circuit personnel, public defenders, and inmate health care. Meeting 6 was about the Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labatt's budget, how his office is funded, and also staff. And the last meeting number 7, was all public testimony. So let's begin. What were the findings? Well, 1, Fulton County Commission oversees all tax money collected from Fulton County residents. And all that money that is used to construct a new Fulton County jail or renovate existing facilities must come by the order. What was the recommendation? First recommendation, because there is overcrowding in the jail. The recommendation was the City of Atlanta immediately transfer the Atlanta Detention Center to Fulton County to safely house current detainees awaiting for adjudication. This will be interesting to see how that plays out. The next recommendation. Fulton County should partner with the Georgia Sheriff's Association to hire a third-party jail expert to oversee any jail construction, renovation, or consolidation. This seems like a really good recommendation because 1, if the current county sheriff, Patrick Labatt, is not a construction expert or a project manager expert on construction or renovations, I do feel like hiring a third-party jail expert is beneficial. And working with the Georgia Sheriff's Association seems appropriate because they represent all of the sheriffs throughout the state and are very well versed in knowing who are good contractors and who are not. And I must say, I want to give a shout out to the Georgia Sheriff's Association. I work with them very closely at the Georgia State Capitol, fighting for the residents of Fulton County, making sure that they get fair treatment in the jail system. Next recommendation, Fulton County Commission should create a Fulton County jail maintenance team of skilled plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians, and just general upkeep experts. I love this recommendation too. I'll tell you why. One of the things that I have been fighting for my district in particular, is workforce development opportunities. People don't know what is a workforce development opportunity. It means that I understand that everyone in my district, especially in the metro area, may not, 1, graduate from high school, let alone graduate from college. And that means uplifting and empowering the residents of Fulton County with trade skills is essential. There was a bill that was passed, I believe it was last year or the year before, and it was $60 million. I voted for $60 million to go to the technical colleges of Georgia just for this purpose. I was a Democrat at the time, and I received so much backlash from the Democrat political leadership for my decision to vote against what they thought was best. It definitely was not best for my district. And the reason that they did not want to vote for the $60 million to go to the technical colleges is because the money was coming out of the Georgia Department of Labor commissioner budget. And there was a black man that was running for the Department of Labor commission. And so they proceeded to tell the public the only reason the Republicans want to move $60 million from the labor commissioner's budget and take it to the technical colleges where it needs to be is because it was going to be a time when a black man was going to be the commissioner. And they were trying to take $60 million out of the black man's budget. Well, that black man did not win the election. He did not receive enough votes throughout the state of Georgia. But 2, this is a true story, and it means a lot to me. The founder of 100 Black Men, Mr. Tommy Dortch, may he rest in peace. During this battle, I called him because I know of the good work that 100 Black Men does in the community. And I said, hey, Mr. Dortch, I really do not understand why the Democrats don't want this $60 million to go to the technical colleges. And he said, Rep. Mainor, you are voting the right way. The nonprofits work with these technical colleges to get these young adults and these students through the system to learn new trades. You absolutely should have voted the way that you voted. True story, and I love his family. The next recommendation, Fulton County Commission establish a Fulton County Jail Advisory Board consisting of individuals that represent the commission, the sheriff's office, the district attorney's office, and the clerk's offices. This is a great idea for just coordination. If you watch the press conference, one of the things that the Georgia State Senate said is there's just disconjointment between these different offices, and all of these offices need to work together in order for optimal outcomes to happen for the detainees. Next recommendation, Fulton County Commission establish policies and procedures for each office within the criminal justice system that procures services from organizations based on tax status. This is a great idea. Why? Because the elected officials that are running the criminal justice system, including the county commission that appropriates the funds to these offices, they have a lot on their plate already. And so creating a streamlined system that is transparent and can be repeated over and over is a great idea to make sure that the people that are going into the jail are legitimate businesses, for one, and that they are appropriately verified by tax organizations. Just think about it. We have had, people were just recently arrested from the jail that were having inappropriate sexual encounters with the inmates. We've had jail personnel that were exchanging contraband, drugs, and weapons with the detainees. So then we have incidences where inmates have died, and there were questions put on the table about the health organizations that were contracting with the jail. So I could go on and on, but I don't want to go into a lot of detail. It's another great recommendation. Next, Fulton County Commission established policies and procedures for each office within their criminal justice system to require monthly audits and tracking of taxpayer money going to outside vendors. Yes, another great recommendation. If you do not know, every single time you pay your property tax, that money goes to Fulton County. Every single time you purchase things, Fulton County. There are a ton of ways the county collects taxes, or the county in particular, but other government entities also collect taxes. Every time the county collects taxes from you, Fulton County residents, Fulton County citizens, you most likely are not tracking where your money goes. You do not know where your money goes. And so, given that Fulton County is the largest county in the entire state of Georgia, and it also is predominantly comprised of Black citizens who are also predominantly comprised of the detainees of the Fulton County jail system, this is very vital, because if Fulton County is using your taxpayer money to fund the criminal justice system, and you have family members that have not been treated right by the criminal justice system, don't you want to know how they're using your money so you can vote for people appropriately in November? Ladies and gentlemen, I did switch parties last year, full disclosure, from Democrat to Republican, mainly because of just, the Republican Party, the portions that I like most about it are their accountability. Where is the taxpayer money going? We owe that to the people we represent to spend their money wisely. And so come November, you have an opportunity to vote for individuals that control the criminal justice system. Most likely, you have always voted for a Democrat. If you are not happy with the current criminal justice system, and you've been voting for a Democrat for the past 50 years or more, I'm just saying you might want to change that pattern. Another thing is you do not have to vote down the ticket. If there is a great Democrat that you think you want to vote for, again, vote for them. If it's a new Democrat you want to vote for them. If it is a Republican that has served your community the way I have, make sure you vote Mesha Mainor for state representative in November to serve you again at the state capitol. I've served you honorably for the past 4 years. I hope I get the honor to continue. Okay, next recommendation. Fulton County Commission established a Fulton County Criminal Justice Task Force to identify and streamline duplicative services, technology, and staffing, including services from the Sheriff and Atlanta Police Department. Another great idea. I like that a lot of the authority is going to who it should go to, the Fulton County Commission. They hold the money. The Fulton County Commission is the pocketbook or the wallet. And so it makes sense for them to establish a task force for the Fulton County criminal justice system. It is their responsibility to make sure that they are streamlining how the criminal justice system is using your taxpayer dollars. You can watch the Fulton County Commissioner meetings on YouTube. Google it, or go to the Fulton County website and watch the Fulton County Commissioner meetings. I think you will be surprised. That's the word I want to use. You will be surprised at what happens at a Fulton County Commissioner meeting and how some of your commissioners represent you. If you really don't know how your Fulton County commissioners represent you, I implore you to watch the meeting. Next recommendation, another great one. All deaths, natural or unnatural, inside a Fulton County jail should be reported and investigated, similar to any death occurring outside of the jail in Fulton County. I would go a step further and say, if it is a detainee that was transferred for some reason to a jail outside of Fulton County, or they were transferred to a hospital and died within a certain amount of time, that should also be investigated, just as if the person died inside the Fulton County jail. Why? I don't have to explain it. You can Google it, Fulton County jail deaths, and you will see the horrific things that have been happening in the jail. My heart goes out to the victims, their families. It is heartbreaking to lose a family member, loved one, or friend in such a way. And that's just a really sad situation altogether. Next recommendation, all Fulton County Superior Court judges carry full dockets. What does that mean, a full docket? It means you need to be working full time. It means that they found something within their investigation that apparently they found out some Fulton County Superior Court judges, is how I'm reading this, were not working for you, at least not full time. I don't know if that also includes the Superior Court Chief Judge, Glanville, or not. He may not have to carry a full docket because he's overseeing everything else. I don't know, but we'll talk about that a little later. Another recommendation, County Clerk of Superior Court create policies and procedures for a monthly tracking report of arrests or felony cases from arrest to adjudication, and they share that report with the Fulton Commission and other Fulton criminal justice agencies. This is good. The County Clerk of Superior Court is your record keeper. If you want to see any motions filed, anything, you find that from the County Clerk of Superior Court. This recommendation is saying, in addition to everything that the clerk does, keeping the records, another record needs to be a monthly tracking report of felony cases from start to finish. And everyone needs to know how many felony cases are coming into the system and leaving out of the system to make sure that people are getting justice timely. I'm going to have another video about your rights in the criminal justice system. I am really excited about this upcoming election because criminal justice reform is one of the things that I am going to focus on. Over the past few years, I have focused on education, not only for the Atlanta University Center, which is Morris Brown, Clark Atlanta, Spelman, Morehouse School of Medicine, as well as Georgia Tech, the Georgia State University students, as well as the SCAD students. These are all my constituents. And of course, the K through 12 and pre-K and early learning facilities. Education has been a priority. That will continue to be a priority. Also, victim rights has been a priority of mine. Workforce development, making sure we are finding opportunities for people to get jobs that pay very well. Very important. Let me move on. The next recommendation, District Attorney's Office and Public Defender's Office create policies and procedures to expedite nonviolent and non-sexual offenses. I think this is a great recommendation. Think about people in the Fulton County Jail with mere misdemeanors, okay? Misdemeanors in jail for years, months, weeks, okay? That should not be happening. And so, yes, create a policy to get non-complex cases out of the system and out of the jail because it is an overcrowding problem. The other thing that I want to say about that I think is also very important is the District Attorney's Office and the Public Defender's Office, they do need to work hand in hand. And this past year, and every year, but this past year, the Georgia General Assembly actually increased the budget of the Public Defender's Office because it came to our attention that when you have cases like RICO cases, like the YSL case, these people are spending all of their time on one case, and they were getting paid minimally. And so, as a state lawmaker, I was able to help change the law that says we cannot let a public defender that is serving Fulton County citizens, we cannot expect them to lose all of their other clients that they may have for this one trial. And so now the rate for public defenders is more of a market rate, if you will. The next recommendation, Atlanta Police Department provide all felony case evidence to district attorney without requiring an open records request. This was interesting because it implies that the Atlanta Police Department, through their investigation, the state senate, it implies that the APD is not just readily giving evidence to the district attorney. unless the district attorney's office requests it in an Open Records Act. That's very interesting. And it's very interesting because if you have been watching the YSL case, you know that Young Thug's attorney and Shannon Steele's attorney, it's funny that I even know some of these names because I am going to be turning 50 years old next year. And these apparently are very popular names, but I'm just learning these names. Besides Young Thug, I didn't know his name. But at any rate, those defense attorneys, and yet Gotti, I can't remember the others. Sorry about that. But the defense attorneys are saying, hey, we cannot defend our clients appropriately because the district attorney has not given us evidence on the case. We do not have certain police reports. The police are saying, we did the reports. They are with the APD, and I am retired. I can't tell you where they are. The district attorney, Bonnie Willis's office, is saying, we asked them, and they said they don't have it. Well, wouldn't this be interesting? This is a hypothetical. If the district attorney, based on this recommendation, knows that right now they must get an open records request to get the information from APD, if they know that, and they have not asked for these police reports through the proper channel, I wonder if that is a way to actually not give the defense what they need. I mean, that sounds like Brady. But at any rate, the next recommendation. Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office create policies and procedures to coordinate RFPs with Finance Department for all additional needed services not provided requested in the budget. Another great suggestion, RFPs, requests for proposals, but this is only for additional things that the DA's office or the sheriff did not request in front of the Fulton County Commission, in front of the public at the annual budget request hearings. And so this is just saying, think about the Nathan Wade scandal with District Attorney Bonnie Willis. It was a scandal because no one knew that she was paying him hundreds of thousands of dollars until a Trump co-defendant made it apparent. So the public will not be blindsided. This is saying if the sheriff or the district attorney ever needs something that they did not request in public, before they arbitrarily just create an RFP and no one knows, now they must coordinate that, or they should coordinate that with the finance department. Next recommendation, county commission and sheriff and all elected conduct themselves professionally in public and private relationships for Fulton County residents and taxpayers. The way the report reads was a lot more to the point. I made this sound really good. In a nutshell, they said that, look, Fulton County elected leaders, you guys, part of your problem is you don't get along. And since you don't get along, the taxpayers are suffering. And since the taxpayers are suffering, what the Senate subcommittee is saying, we recommend or suggest that one, just be professional, and two, start off by just conducting some weekly professional meetings amongst yourself, do some team building, try to reinstill trust, try to create more of a teamwork atmosphere. I mean, you can just watch the Fulton County Commissioner meetings. I know I keep saying that, but it's a lot of stuff going on in Fulton County, and it's not everybody. I want to be clear that, and you will see, you will make your own opinion, right? Because what I think is inappropriate, you may feel is very inappropriate, and vice versa. So there are different personalities on the commission, and get out there, watch what's going on so you can be informed, is what I say. Okay, this is the last slide recommendation. County commissioner and sheriffs collaborate to create best practices and industry standards for transparent jail budget and operations, followed by the commission oversight to not micromanage. That's self-explanatory. A fact I want to leave you with. Georgia has 50 superior court circuits comprised of a chief superior court judge and other judges authorized by the General Assembly. That means if a circuit needs another judge, then the General Assembly, state representatives such as myself, we put in that request for the county. Superior court judges are constitutional officers elected to 4-year nonpartisan terms. If you are watching these trials, any trials, on YouTube, because they are out there, look at how the judges are overseeing these cases. You determine if you want to elect them again. If you are not happy with the current criminal justice system, you may need to vote differently. Fulton County is the largest county in the state. It is in the Atlanta Circuit, and currently Bonnie Willis is the chief prosecuting officer. She has enormous power over the lives of people accused of crimes, the majority of whom are Black. The district attorney decides who she's going to prosecute. That means who is she going to file charges against. She's also going to tell the judge what she thinks the bail amount should be. She's also going to tell the judge how long the sentence should be. Until a person's case is adjudicated, they live in Fulton County Jail, and they are there until their case is closed. Okay, this is important. This is important. If you don't like bail amounts, you need to look at who you're voting for district attorney. If you don't like how long your sentence is, you need to look at who you're voting for district attorney. If you don't like that you have been put in jail for possession of marijuana, and if you don't like that your sentence was a long time, and you feel like the sentence should have been less than that, look at your district attorney. All right. Another finding, the Atlanta Circuit is not showing an accurate or complete performance workload. Excuse me. Of the judges, because they're delegating judges from other places and senior superior court judges. So in other words, they're just saying you can't say that you are overworked when the General Assembly can't even see what your actual workload is. All right, last thing. The Atlanta Circuit and Chief Prosecuting Attorney, or the District Attorney, should conduct an audit from the courts and the District Attorney's Office to create best practices that streamline processes. All right? These are just recommendations from the Georgia General Assembly State Senate Subcommittee. The county can agree or disagree to these recommendations until state lawmakers decide to take action as needed. We will put the citizens of Georgia and Fulton County first. Vote in November for your state lawmakers, that's me, your sheriff, your district attorney, and your judges. Go to www.meshamainor.com to support me. I want to just tell you a little bit about the pictures you see. Top left-hand corner, we had 1,000 students. I invited, along with some other organizations, 1,000 students and their teachers to come to the Capitol for a student rights day, if you will. And it was such a beautiful thing. I had the students to do their own very first press conference at the state Capitol. It was an amazing day. The next picture is a group of Hispanic Latino civic organizations. I was able to pass a bill through the House for children with special needs to be able to have interpretation services in their IEP meeting. Anybody has a child with a disability, you know how intimidating those meetings are. Imagine if you can't speak the English language and you're trying to get the best for your child. So that is what that picture is for. I am a physical therapist. I love being a physical therapist. And so that next picture is me doing a guest lecturing class for a group of future PTs. And it is a health policy course. And we just talk about legislation, how the process works, how they can get involved. And I love doing that in coordination with Georgia Physical Therapy Association. Next, this is actually a really cute picture. This ended up being my church member's niece. Did not know that. It was a day about abortion rights, abortion access at the Capitol. So there were hundreds, thousands of people at the Capitol fighting for abortion rights. And so I got a message to come out to the ropes, to speak to someone that was a constituent. They said, will you support this bill? I was like, well, let me look at the bill. When I looked at the bill, I started pointing out things that they did not even know was in the bill. One of the things is the child could have an abortion and not tell a parent. And so my question I posed back to the group was, do you have any children, or do you have nieces, etc.? And this young lady said that she did have a niece that she loved very much. And I said, well, what if something unfortunately happened to your niece if she, was getting an abortion per se and died? These things happen. Would your sister and your family be heartbroken that they did not even know she was going to get that procedure? Of course, the answer was yes. We even had there was a doctoral student at the ITC, from ITC, the International Theological Center over at the AUC campus. He did not know it was in there. So that was a great informative session about, look, if you want abortion rights, before you just put your support behind a bill, read all 60 pages to make sure it's actually what you want. Or do you really want to be focusing on maternal health and figuring out the root cause of why so many Black women are seeking abortions? Is it because they can't afford the baby? Do they think they don't have the resources and tools to support the baby? Whatever the reason is, as a physical therapist, I'm always looking at the root cause. Next picture, this is with, I believe this is with Yes Delavia. She is with a nonprofit organization. It is families that have lost children to gun violence. And so I've really been trying to help different nonprofits just navigate how you access grant money A lot of the grant money goes to cities and counties, but I do try to help them navigate that process. Bottom left corner, that is with my favorite candidate from District 3, Mr. Ricky Brown. I actually just found out recently that he's a famous record DJ or radio DJ. But besides him being a famous radio DJ from the past, currently he is one of the strongest advocates for criminal justice reform and second citizen or return citizen rights. And so I am eager to especially work with him on some criminal justice things that I have coming up. Next, it is a Hindu organization. I've learned so much from the Hindus throughout the state of Georgia. Their story is amazing, and it just shows you how, even though someone may not practice your religion, you can always learn from other people to understand why they love their religion. I am a Christian, Baptist. I love the Word, the Bible, and they love their message too, and I respect that. And if I can help them in a way, they know that I'm a phone call away. Next is the Sickle Cell Foundation. This guy, right under the name Mesha, this is Stay Fresh. He's from the west side of Atlanta. I've known him since he was a kid, since I was a kid. Both grew up on the west side. He is battling sickle cell, and sickle cell, as you know, affects the Black community disproportionately. And so there are many organizations out there fighting for resources for this group. Interesting enough, at this particular event, the former president of Howard University was a speaker. He was explaining how his child has sickle cell. So that was great catching up with him just as a Howard University alumnus. I actually was able to pull up some pictures from my phone that we had taken on the HU campus. That was a great night. The next one is with some constituents and also the Church of Latter-day Saints. Every year they do this Giving Tree festival in the West Midtown area in my district. They give it lots of resources away to people all across the world, actually. So that's great. Next one is me doing an interview about school choice. Next one is an event at the Georgia Tech campus for Diwali. And then at the very end, it was another school choice event with Star, who is a phenomenal journalist, advocate, policymaker, several other great Black policymakers, including the one and only U.S. Congressman Byron Donaldson. Yeah, so that is that. This is the end. Thank you for supporting me. You can scan this to donate to my campaign. This is actually my very first little video I'm doing like this. I hope it wasn't too long. It was my first time, but I really enjoyed it, and I hope it was informative. www.meshamanor.com. Have a great day.